What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gettin Litty with Critty. I am here with the first family episode. We have my cousins, Charlie and Erika, along with Charlie's girlfriend, Shay, and Erika's fiance, Josie. Everybody, how you doing?
What's good?
I'm pumped.
All right, now that we got it rolling, everybody get the beers up near the microphones.
This is the most important part.
And we're going to go at the same time. Here we go. 3.
I got my fingers hurt.
Wait. Hold on, I gotta put the microphone.
That was a unanimous wait.
Are we ready now?
Yes.
Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh, that was kind of fun.
That was nice. That was nice.
That was hot.
Mine was a bit delayed. I didn't want to break a nail.
Can't break the nail.
All right, gang. Now we got the brews are flowing. Of course, nobody drank before it. Let's go through this real quick. Has anybody here been on a podcast before?
No.
Before this exact moment?
Nope.
No. No's across the board.
News one time.
All right, close enough.
We need to unpack that.
Wait, Charlotte had this thing where it was like, "Are you smarter than a fifth grader?" And so, okay, it was like, "Are you smarter than a fifth grader?" So I woke up at 4 a.m. and was on the morning news.
Were you smarter than a fifth grader?
No, I was the fifth grader.
Was that person smarter than you?
Yeah. Oh, were they smarter than me?
Turns out.
I don't know, but that's why I know the closest star to the sun is Alpha Centauri.
They asked you how to do your taxes, and you're like,
No, nothing.
All right, so let's start with a good opening story that is a beaut that a lot of people know in the realm of the Limestone community, which I don't even know how many people from Limestone actually listen to this thing. I don't.
Hopefully none.
you'd be surprised.
Would I? I don't. Do you know something I don't? But anyways,
I went to Limestone.
Let's talk about the first time I got drunk to the point of zero body regards with you two. It was
Erika, take it away.
Charlie was visiting
So it
for
was December.
This is a cold,
Way
cold
off.
morning.
Charlie was visiting for spring break, his senior year of college.
Oh, that story.
I was a freshman at Limestone. Erika was a sophomore.
Just a youngin'.
You
Young
two were
buck.
not there yet, right?
You're still in high school.
Y'all were still living up that high school life.
Still learning how to read.
Shay, you're
Josie was
double
on the,
fisted
Josie was
over
on the
there.
news the day before.
But the night was going. Let's talk about this first. You got gypped at a gas station, thinking you got a deal on
Yeah,
Bud
first
Light.
of all, I'll go ahead and unpack that one. Let me go ahead and air this grievance. It turns out in South Carolina, which is not a Virginia thing. It's not a Virginia thing.
It's
right?
not.
It's just a South Carolina thing.
Yeah.
They sell at the gas stations when you go to buy a case of beer. You can buy a case of beer, and it's like it's one of those too good to be true things. You look on the shelf and you see it, and it's 24 beers, and it's like $11 or $10 or something like that. And I'm like, this is it. This is beautiful. It's South Carolina, low taxes. Don't tread on me. It's the perfect thing. And then we buy like 3 cases of it. Mind you, me and my college friends, because we were going from Morgantown to Panama City. Gaffney's halfway, like you said, so we're coming to Gaffney to spend the night basically. And we get there and we open up all the cases, and they're these tiny little beers. And turns out they're called Azalitas, and they're 8-ounce beers, and they're a lot of fun.
They are, because you lose count of them in a heartbeat.
You can drink them awfully fast.
It was a blast and a half.
Azalitas.
Yeah, that's also the same night that we learned Limestone puts out.
Clarify to everyone on the podcast, I was not a part of that night.
Neither was I.
Limestone still puts out. Let's be honest with ourselves here.
I'll take it from here. So we get to the house, which is the softball house at the time. You were
Yes.
there.
I thought you were at the apartment.
Yes, College Drive.
We end
It
up
was
at the
the one on
apartment.
College Drive.
The main part of the night
1115
is
College
softball.
Drive.
Yeah,
You can find it.
Gaffney, South Carolina.
Google Maps that.
So we the 9 of us get there, and Erika told us to go over to that house, to the softball house. And then I guess you were already there or making your way there. Were you there when I got there?
I was making my way downtown, walking fast.
Facey's pass.
And I'm home now.
Well done. So the party started and we're all carrying on. Do you want me to just kind of skip to the best part?
Yes, we'll be here all night.
Yeah, we can hop forward to. So we did a lot of drinking games there. Played a lot of weird ones. I watched girl on girl, guy on guy, and girl on guy, and it was a whole that entire
Kissing.
night was
Just kissing.
That's
first
just
of all.
kissing.
That's right.
It was a whole thing that I was not prepared for mentally when I walked in there that day.
It was a card game where you passed the cards with your mouth. Yeah.
Yeah,
That made
yeah.
it seem like it was
So
way
we
worse.
get through that part of it.
Christian.
Sorry.
You gotta make it seem more interesting.
Can I say that?
So
Also,
this-
Shay, the microphone is nowhere near your mouth, so like.
just holding 2 beers. So we're drinking a lot, and this is the first time I'd ever seen Christian drink, mind you. So you were 17, 18 years
18.
old? Not that I condone that. That's illegal. So that was the first time I ever saw you drink, and we drank a lot, and so did Erika.
Azalitas.
Because the Azalitas. So we get back to Erika's apartment, and Christian was not feeling too hot. So, oh yeah. So Christian goes out to the front porch. This is one of my favorite stories about you, Christian. Christian goes out to the front porch. Josie looks bored already. Josie is shooting me the most bored eye.
You have like 17 like.
You've really
side
never heard
stories
this
in
story
one
before?
time.
Oh,
I'm having a hard
man.
time getting through it.
This is where Slimy Limey became a thing.
So Christian's out on the front porch of the Cedars. So
Okay.
I'm general for the folks at home listening. That we don't lose them the details, but I can be specific for you. He's sitting on the front porch of one of the apartments at the Cedars on the bricks,
Okay.
right? And he's throwing up
Aggressive.
all over the place. So I come out, and I come out to the front porch, and this was in the phases of my life where I lived by a very serious rule, which is that no one throws up alone. No one throws up alone. So I walk up next to Christian. I sit down on the bricks next to him. I put my arm around him. I'm watching him throw up. I take my fingers, I jam them as far as I can down my throat, and I start throwing up right next to him. And we threw up for a solid 10 minutes,
Oh,
just
yeah.
throwing up all over the place. And that was the first time we drank together.
That
and
was
it ended
a-
up in a no one throws up alone.
That
Beautiful,
was a
beautiful moment.
interesting night.
There
Erika,
was many
Beautiful
people
moment.
throwing up that day.
do
And
you remember?
Many people couldn't play the game the next day.
Oh, I
because
forgot that
we
was
had
the
a
night
game
before
the
game
next
day. Erika, you remember the night we found out that we drank, like the most awkward situation me and you were probably put in as cousins, which was someone on the team came up to me. They're like, "Christian, you want a beer?" And like I made eye contact. He was like, "No, I don't want one. I don't drink." And then someone asked you if you wanted a beer, and you're
Sure
like,
don't.
And you're like, "No, I don't want one." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Erika doesn't drink, so then I don't drink." I was like, "Got it. Cool. Sick. Perfect." And then someone like brought us two together, like, "You both drink. We all know this. Here you go." And like I looked at Erika, and Erika looked at me. I was like,
And then it went, it's about to go down.
"Yeah." I was like, "All right, here we go." I was like, "This was not how I expected this to go." This was like night 4 of college. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to be at some freshman orientation
And I don't
thing.
remember a single thing after that.
I mean, at that point in my life, I blacked out off of like a little too much caffeine.
I still have a
This
microphone.
podcast is so much fun. Can I play?
I still have a microphone. You guys hear me? Is my mic on, Christian? Can you do my mic check one more time? I don't think it's coming through.
All
Hold
right,
on.
Josie,
It's gonna take some thinking.
First memory or favorite memory?
let's go favorite. That would probably be
Okay.
more interesting.
So my favorite memory is when, right after Erika had decided to tell Charlie that we were dating, she told Christian that we were dating, and Christian goes, "Yeah, I kind of figured. I'm blank cultured,
Freaking cultured.
Yep, and that was the coolest memory I have of you.
I just would like to point this out. Erika told me y'all were dating as she went to go poop. She was 1 foot into the bathroom and said, "By the way, we're dating," and like went straight into the bathroom. And I was like, okay.
Better time.
I guess that was you. I guess that's the way you're the most comfortable with breaking that one down. I mean, it's whatever to me, but I was just like, all right, not the typical way how that goes down, but I'll take it. Makes me feel important.
So I put some thought into it.
I'm scared.
So I slept on it.
It is a bittersweet kind of thing because it wasn't necessarily a fun time for me and Charlie.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh, I know where this is going.
How long did it take? What minute are we at?
But there was a time where we all went to Atlanta, and the beginning is going to be rough, but then we're gonna get out of it. Charlie was no longer available to hang out. I'll just leave it at that.
Period.
And so me and Christian were like, we're in Atlanta. We're going to party. And so this was what was it, Sunday or Monday?
It was Sunday night.
Yeah, it was a Sunday night, and we thought that, like, everything was still going to be bumping. So we were like, yeah, we'll just drink at this pub, and then we'll go straight to the, what was that place called? Where the games are?
It was at SunTrust Park. We were going to go to the Battery because we thought all the bars were going to be
Battery.
open around the field.
Yeah. So we're like, yeah, Uber driver, take
Sunday
us to
night,
the
yeah.
Battery. No, we went to Top first.
We
That's
did
what it
go
was.
to Topgolf
We went to
first.
Topgolf first and got hammered at Topgolf. And then I became really strangely attached to this pebble that
Yeah.
I found at Topgolf. And I kept it in my pocket. And then we told the Uber driver to drive us to the Battery because we're like, yeah, we're going to party. And we get there and it's a graveyard. There's literally not a soul there.
The only
except
person there
for
was a security guard.
one security guard. And so we're like, hey, security guard, where can we find a place to drink at, what time was it, like 2 a.m.? 2 a.m. on a Sunday night.
That was Monday morning.
Yeah, it was Monday morning. He said, well, I think the only place you got is Doc's across the street. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You were so nice. Here's a pebble as a token of my appreciation. And he was so honored. He said, thank you so much. And we didn't get an Uber to Doc's. Mind you, it was across like 8 lanes of busy traffic in Atlanta. So we were like, no, we won't get an Uber. We'll just run it.
Dead sprint across 8 lanes of traffic, 4 going different directions, just pow, gone.
I'm
Frogger
Shay took off.
style.
Shay took off before me. Shay saw the hole before I did, and Shay was gone. I like looked down and then looked up, and Shay's halfway across the street going, woo!
Pretty sure I almost got hit by a car and I did not care. And then and then we ended up at this place called Doc's. And it was crowded at 2 a.m. And we were like, holy cow, this
a
is going to
Monday
be
morning.
fun. And so we ended up playing darts. We made friends with a bunch of locals somehow.
Do you remember the rule about being able to throw your dart again?
Yeah. So apparently they told us this rule was if a girl throws the dart at the dartboard and it ricochets back, the only way that you can get it and throw it again is if you drop it low,
Do a
pick it
dance
up,
for your mans.
and do a dance for the person that you're playing with. And so I was like, never heard that rule, but okay. And then
the lady next to us so kindly demonstrated.
yeah, that was something to see.
She was thick with
She
a
was
couple
thick.
cues when she dropped that thing down.
Was that the one that ended up being your mom?
No, that was
Sorry.
later.
I'm still Snapchat friends with her.
Me too.
Stay tuned, folks. It gets better.
Oh yeah.
And so then we just had these really weirdly close relationships with these people that we just met. And there was one lady, I don't really know how we met her, our mom.
Yeah, Dee Dee.
Yeah, why did we meet her?
Because we were sitting in the corner, and we wanted to figure out a way that we could leave with the pint glasses that had the Atlanta soccer team logo on it and the Bud Light logo on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
And we were talking about it. She like came up just to say hi to us because like we were sticking like a sore thumb, and she came and talked to us, and we like explained the whole thing to her. She goes, "Oh no, you just do this," and like she walked away for 3 seconds, came back, and had 4 of them just stacked up.
She was like, just walk out, honey.
Yeah.
And I was like, but somehow we were closer with her than that. We were closer to her than that because we ended up calling her our mom before we left.
Well, because we played heads up with the entire bar.
We somehow convinced a local to buy Heads Up on his iPhone. And there was like a crowd of probably 40 of us playing Heads Up in the middle of a bar. And we were screaming our heads off playing Heads Up. And I guess she came and played.
Yeah, she played the entire time. She was one of the first. It was us, like, it was her, I believe her girlfriend and us two playing. And that was like, we were the OG 4 that started with it. And then it just kind of happened into this whole crescendo.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. That took a second to get there, but I got there.
Literally has your name.
We
in
made it.
Yeah.
Crescendo.
Crescendo.
I'm going to start using that for when I get really drunk and go on adventures. It's a crescendo.
Crescendo!
Yeah.
God.
I
You
did.
need to wipe off that screen.
Did your ear get wet?
You need to wipe off that mic. There's some
Anyways,
there's some buffalo
to
shrimp
wrap
on
up
that
the
mic.
story.
This story sounds like the start of a Hangover movie.
Yeah, I know. It was crazy.
Well, then next we went to
Steak and Shake.
Steak and Shake. We went to Steak and Shake, and this is at like 3 in the morning now. And at one point, I was eating my food. I look up, and Shay's just like looking at me like this, just like with the goofiest smile in the world. And she has scrambled egg like falling off the side of her mouth at the same time.
Mustard.
Oh yeah, it was something yellow. But I just like looked up, and I was like, "This isn't good. This is not good at all." And then we both fell asleep on the Uber back to where we were staying.
Yep. And it was to the point where the Uber driver turned around and said, Christian. And then I think she literally had to shake us. It was like, you're here. You're at your place.
And your rating went down 3 stars.
She was really nice about
I'm
it.
4.98 on Uber. I'm living the dream right now. Let's go, Cuzzo's favorite memories. First memories, I feel like it's probably pretty biased to my chubby body, but when I was a 10 pound 2 ounce baby. But
Here's one that you might not know. I think it's kind of funny. It was when I'll call it first memory. It's not necessarily like the first memory because my first memory of you is when you were like
10 pound 2 ounce
slamming mac and cheese in your face when you were like 3 years old and SpaghettiOs.
I do Elvis on SpaghettiOs still to this day.
One time we were at the beach, so at the Cousin Beach Week, we were all there. Shout out Cuzzos, first of all, G3.
Gang.
We were downstairs playing in the sand by the house, right?
Yes.
I wonder if give me a wink when you realize what story I'm talking about. I'm going to have to look at you now. So we're playing, and I thought it would be a good idea, mind you, because I, for some reason, and I still do this, wear tall white tube socks when I'm walking in the sand because it feels good on my feet. So I took off one of my long white tube socks, filled it completely full of sand. I'm probably 12 or 13 at this point, so that makes you what, 8 or 9?
Probably. I still don't know where this story's going.
I walk over to Christian with a sock that now looks like a full water balloon full of sand. I put it on top of your head and start pouring sand on top of your head. And Doug came out and yelled at me, and that's the only time I've ever been yelled at by Doug, and I was so scared. And you were freaking out because you thought you weren't going to be able to get it out of your hair. I poured the whole sock's worth of sand on your top of your head.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all. I probably blacked that out as one of those things that you just don't want to remember.
And then two seconds later, you had a Band-Aid on your finger. This is when you were Lily. You had a Band-Aid on your finger where you cut your finger earlier in the week. And you were all good, and then you looked down, and you were like, my Band-Aid's gone. And I was like, yeah. And then you started crying.
Dude, I've had a problem with that before. Because one time when I was a little kid at the pool, I'll say this super quick, I was running, and I tripped and fell at the pool. Don't run at the pool, kids. And I scraped my knee on the concrete, but like when it happened, I was like, all right, it's cool. Like, be tough, Christian. It doesn't hurt. And then I caught a glimpse of it. And I was like, oh, my God, we're dying. This is not good. And I, like, looked at the scab. I was like, and then they poured the hydrogen peroxide on it. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
I sounded like a newborn baby. I was like, it was not good. So like I learned at a young age that like everything's cool until I see it, and then it's not cool.
That the Band-Aid was gone, and then it hurt again.
Yeah. All right, Erika, go.
I think I'm going to have to tell another beach story.
Go for it.
I won't use any names, but your mother, we'll call her the angel. She is like our medicine goddess.
Yes.
Yeah, anytime we have any questions about anything medicine, we call good old
Oh,
Angel.
the goddess.
Good old Angel. And so,
It was dangerously close.
and so we're at the beach, and it's the beginning of the week. And I think it was the beginning of the week. It was a very long time ago. We were very young. And it was time to get all sunscreened up. Oh, yeah, you know where this is going. High five. So.
Literally. This is a good story.
So Kathy Angel is putting sunscreen on Christian's back. And
It's French for angel.
Yes, French for Angel.
Kathy.
Kathlina. So Kathlina is putting sunscreen on his back. And I guess gets into a conversation with somebody else, or something happens and she gets distracted and does not move her hands at all. And then she goes, yep, all right, have fun. Go play in the water. And only sunscreened the handprints on his back. Fast forward a day. Christian has marks of 2 hands on his back.
Very prominent as well.
It looked like he had been slapped.
It was like reverse
and
beaten. It was reverse beaten because everything was
Yes.
red and then the hand was white.
Yes. It was very funny.
Do we have a story that includes all of us? We do, to an extent. Let's talk Windjammer. Let's talk the night before my parents came to brunch at one time. So we went to the Windjammer. It was all of us were there.
Which is a bar on the Isle of Palms in
Yes.
South Carolina.
Yes, which we
On the
are,
beach.
which we're currently at right now. Almost, we're in Mount Pleasant right now. So we were at
Three.
the Windjammer.
Are we gonna start rating burps? That'd be so much fun. Let's do that. Yeah.
Y'all both rated the burp?
Every time we hear a burp now, we all say the number. I
Okay,
guess-
well, I burped
so,
like 6 times. Have you heard them?
No,
I
so
didn't
they
hear
were
them.
obviously zeros.
Have you heard them?
So are we doing common scale grading? 10's best, 1 is worst.
Before Christian gets started with his story, real quick, even though we're right in the middle, shut up. We were rating people on the beach today. So that's a new game that you have to play when you
Oh
go.
my
Ooh,
goodness.
that's a fun
There
game.
was this smoke show of a dude on the beach.
Oh, yeah, 2 bros. But he thought
Long
they
hair,
were like
short hair makes a
gym-
big difference.
Short.
I'm out.
They
I'm
they
out.
were together. They were a couple.
I'm out.
Christian was like,
Ah.
no, they're just gym bros. And I was like, no, they're not. Although they
They
were
definitely
staring
look like
at-
gym
They
bros.
were staring us down. I don't know if it was you. I don't know if it was me. But they were looking at us hard when they left.
It might have been the dad that was sitting to the right of us.
He was kind of attractive.
Yeah.
He was very tan.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the burp game. Chimbo, take us back. into
Burp
the story.
game. We rated dudes earlier. Anyways, so Windjammer, we were partying with a cover band. I can't remember who they were covering.
Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones. I blacked out at 9:30ish. Y'all take it away.
Yeah, so we get to this bar, and it's an outdoor beachfront bar. It's indoor. And so we had some of our friends on the outside part, and there was a cover band on the inside. And all of our outside friends were like, that cover band sucks. And granted, they may have sucked. I have no idea. I was like pretty tipsy, and I just know, all I know is that they sounded cool. And so, Charlie, do you want to add?
I think it's important to know, just like for the story, because as we are featured on Gettin Litty with Critty, that the important part of this story, I think, was that it started with everyone, like me included, was outside except for Shay and Christian.
Oh yeah.
And Shay and Christian were inside, and not only were they inside, they were front row. Like, I walked in there, Christian's half buttoned down, sweating through his hat. Shay has got like fog on her glasses. They are just like facing, like looking right at the lead singer, who's got this like
I wasn't
full
looking at the lead
denim,
singer.
like what
Let's
is
look
it?
at the backup singers.
Yeah, I was looking at the
Full
backup singer.
denim look. You know, we'll get to that.
You know, this guy had like bell-bottom jeans on and aviator glasses.
And they
It
were
was hot.
and they were front row, just jumping, dancing so much. So we were all outside. It's not important, but I just needed you to know that.
So
It's a John Mulaney
I
quote.
think at one point, me and Christian were like, "This is awesome. We need to get everybody in on this." So we went outside and was like, "Y'all need to come listen to this." And they were like, "Yeah, no, we can hear it from out here. We don't like them. They're not very good." And I was just like, "Am I hammered? Like, I feel like they're cool. They sound good." And then, go ahead. I
was gonna burp. You can keep talking. I'm just gonna
Oh.
throw a burp in there eventually.
And so I don't really know what happened after that. After I went and said that y'all should come
4.
Respect.
I was going to say 2.
see the band.
1.
2.
1.5.
I said I don't know what happened after I got excited and was like, y'all should come see it.
I can touch on the subject. So the band sucked.
The band
was
was a
terrible.
blast.
One,
First of all.
fun.
it was the Rolling Stones, and it was a bunch of.
It was not the Rolling Stones.
I
It was a
don't
cover
know.
band.
Okay, well, it was a cover band for the Rolling Stones. Therefore, we're millennials, and we did not care. So everyone who was not blackout drunk left the bar, aka the people that do not live in Mount Pleasant.
AKA Charlie,
No,
Christian,
I stayed.
and Shay.
No, she's
Stay.
saying
Oh,
everybody
okay,
left
okay.
the bar but us.
They all stayed, and the rest of the cousins, aka the visitors, came back and played Wii Sports.
Let the record show that it was a blast. I got so hammered.
The record shows.
I have a video on my phone
Record is reflected.
of just like me with like drunk eyes, and then I'm videoing the band, and then I go to Christian, and then I go to Charlie, and then I turn it around to me, and we're all just so sweaty. Like we have sweat just glistening off our foreheads. And it was that song that goes, hoo, 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 hoo.
Oh, yeah, because that's like one of the only ones I knew. So I was getting after it.
We were all
have any of the
screaming that at each
actual
other
words.
because it was like a little bit of break, and then went hoo hoo, and we were just pointing.
Like, we were not saying any words. All we were saying is, hoo, 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 hoo.
So,
And
go ahead.
I don't know. I was just
So
Flash over
I didn't
at
black
this
out.
point, we are all in REM sleep in the house.
The folks at the house.
Back over to the bar.
Back. I think you were back to the bar. So I was not blackout for some reason. I don't know why, but
I wasn't
was
blackout.
not.
I was just very drunk.
Christian was already into tomorrow. But so they keep going, and there's this guitar player, and he's just like, I mean, filthy on guitar. Like he's just tearing it up, because we noticed him. We were talking about it every time he had a guitar solo. He was crazy, and he's just tearing up every solo. And this was right when Shay had just gotten a guitar for Christmas, so she was like learning about guitar, trying to figure out how to play. And so we're like just floored by this guy who's just crushing the guitar. So anyways, hours go by, beers go by, and the show ends. And Christian had his eye, apparently, the entire time on one of the background singers.
Both of the background
Yeah,
Can you
singers.
excuse me,
describe
excuse
the
me.
background
Both of the
singers?
background
No, I
singers.
can't. I was blacked out.
Christian doesn't
Did you
remember.
get his name?
I think that they looked probably
I think, yeah. I was,
Well
they
played.
looked like they were probably in their 30s.
Mid-30s,
Mid-30s.
generously.
Yeah.
So Christian had his eye on the background singers, apparently. And mind you, I don't think you don't remember any of this, do you?
I remember nothing.
Okay. So anyways, show ends, bar clears out. We're still having just like a crazy good time. We're still on the dance floor, and some of the band comes out into the bar. So me and Shay, Christian at this point, no idea where he is.
No.
I think he's just like this in the background.
Again, not a necessarily important part of the story, but it's important that you know that. So Christian's somewhere. Me and Shay go over, and we're talking to the guitar player, and he's like so nice, like so like engaging with us. Like you can tell he's like completely sober. And Shay walks up to him and asks like a genuine like musician type question. She's like, "Hey, I just got my guitar. Like I'm just learning. We watched you. We thought you were amazing. Can you give me some tips on like, what to do?" And the guy is like all about it, right? So the guy comes over, or he's like talking to me and Shay, and he starts talking to Shay, and he's like, "What you gotta do is you just gotta," he said, "what I call is just throw up onto the instrument, just play stuff that doesn't make sense, and then eventually something will make sense, and just get to know the instrument." And then with the most beautiful timing, there he is. Christian comes running to our conversation. Mind you, the guitar player is mid-sentence telling Shay, this sweet, innocent musician that just wants to learn how to play guitar, and he's like, "You just gotta love that instrument." And Christian comes over,
Barrels over.
almost barrels in, without reading the room, reading our conversation. Just yells at the guy who's talking to Shay, and he walks over and he's like, "You just gotta love the instrument." And Christian goes, "Hey, the background singer's single." And he just stops, and he's like, "What?" And Christian said, "Are any of the background singers single?" and the guy goes, "I don't think so," and then left, and then just walked away from us. And so we're like, "Oh, well, that kind of got ruined." So he left, and then we're kind of just standing around because we didn't want to leave. We were having such a good time. And then, wouldn't you know it, the two background singers come out from behind, like backstage. Again, mind you, Christian was missing again. Don't know where he went. Again, not an important detail, but it's important that you know that because of this. They're walking from the stage over to the bar. No, one of them is. Much easier to approach. One of them's walking from the stage over to the bar, and there he goes. Christian sprints over to one of those background singers. Me and Shay are over by the door, so I cannot tell you what he said, and neither can he, but he went up to one of those background singers, and then they talked for like a good 45 seconds.
I can't tell you.
And then she walked away, and he ran over to us like we were over by the front door. He said, "Not gonna happen, let's go." And then we left the bar.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Shoot your shot.
Yeah, I really went for
Shoot
it.
your shot, Christian.
There are not a lot of stories in this world where I was that bold. I don't know what came over me that night to try to make something like that even be considered in my brain at that moment. And then let's fast forward to the next morning now. My parents are in town. They're down in Charleston. So I felt awful in the morning. We all go to brunch as a group, and I still feel awful. We are waiting for our table at brunch, and just a wave of hangover hit me harder than I've had in a long time. I turned to my dad, and I was like, I can't do this. He goes, what do you mean? I was like, I can't do this. I was like, you're going to see in the parking lot in a second why I can't do this. He goes, what do you mean? I was like, just follow me. Keep a couple steps back. I don't know what's going to happen, but just heads up. He goes, all right. I go into the parking lot. I get between two cars. I have no clue who they are, and I just throw up. I threw up on the two cars. I threw up on the two cars that were parked right there. I threw up all over the parking lot, and my dad comes up behind me. He goes, oh, that's why. I was like, yeah, this is not a good moment for me. I was like, I need you to drive me back. You can go back to brunch after you drive me back, but I cannot be here right now because I will die. Let's go.
Big ZD.
Start the Big ZD story.
No, that's
Go.
all Erika.
Erika,
I was
start the
throwing- I
Big
was throwing
ZD
Erika a
story.
bone there. And you know what? I still have a picture of that. I can send that to you.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
I did not want to see that picture.
Emma came
God.
down after all that was over and asked me if I died and came back to life.
Because it was mid-party, wasn't it?
So
Or was it the next day?
The-
You did
next
both.
morning.
You did both.
that night I threw up Big ZD, but I got through the door for that. The next morning I woke up and I went to try to get outside to throw up, and I threw up through the screen door and then eventually got around and out. But Emma came down with her friend, and they're like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "It sounded like you died." I was like, "Probably. That it usually checks out." And then like I was shivering for like the next like 3 hours.
So, Christian, I don't know if I told you this, but when you went the next morning and threw up Baked Ziti through the storm screen door.
Which I cleaned up.
Hang on. That's a part of this.
I cleaned up the screen door part.
No, barely. Well, the point I'm trying to make is when I sold that house, which was 2 years later. 2 years. Whenever I sold the Gaffney house, there was still if you went and looked at that screen door. I bet you if you went today and looked at that screen door, I know for a fact when I sold the Gaffney house, there was still Baked Ziti in the screen door.
Long live the Big ZD.
It's amazing.
I don't know how I didn't break the screen, if I'm being honest. Whether it was my knee or the throw up, because both came barely through that door.
Right through the screen door.
Just
Yeah.
to give like a good visual for everyone at home. Imagine like the
Accurate.
headphone jack you plug into and trying to fit like a bowling ball through that. That's about how successful it was. It was all
Well, it
in
wasn't
the
my
foyer.
intention to try to make it through the screen door. It just came out before I was able to get outside.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't your intention because it was very unsuccessful if it was.
Like there was another time in the Gaffney house I threw up in the sink and I clogged that.
And there's two circles to the sink. There's two little, not circles, squares, little holes in the sink. There's one with the garbage disposal and one without the garbage disposal.
I went to the one that didn't have anything in it.
No, we never used the garbage disposal because it was never working. We could never fix it. So we always knew you never use that side because the garbage disposal does not work.
No one told me
And so
that.
Christian's like, okay, let me throw up in the one with the garbage disposal because I know that won't go anywhere.
No one told me this.
It'll stay here and we will keep it like a pet. It was awful. I hope you know that. It was lovely, but awful.
It stayed there
It's
for a
great
long
story.
time.
No,
That's
it's
gross.
I'm glad he
forever.
stayed downstairs.
We had to like take it apart to clean it, to put it back, to still not work.
No one told me that.
Yeah, it was bad.
I just remember throwing up.
I don't even remember using the sink at that house. Was there a sink at that house?
Do you not remember Punta Cana when we walked into the resort?
I didn't do that. I didn't.
It doesn't matter that you didn't.
That was a
we walked
7.
into the resort.
7 and a half.
7 girls.
She said
All
7.
go on a huge trip to Punta Cana. And
Before it was like a scary place to go to.
yeah, before. And so we all go there.
Very,
And we're like,
very
"Dude, this is
important.
a great idea.
Soon.
Let's
Still a
order
scary
shots.
place.
Soon, we still have luggage in hand. Walk up to the bar and like, we want 7 shots of tequila, please. The bartender pours them. We all take the shot and pour Ashley. As it's going down, it's also coming back up because this tequila shot is hot. It's not warm. It's not room temperature. It's hot because it's Punta Cana. It's in a pool
They
bar.
put it in a microwave.
Is
It was a warm.
Threw up all over the bar.
So she
Is-
threw up all over the bar.
is Ashley single? She sounds like my kind of
no,
lady.
I don't think
Turns
so.
out none of us still talk to her anymore.
I think I have her on Instagram, but I
don't
Oh, wait,
think
no,
we're allowed
hang on.
to
We're
talk
not
about
doing last names.
it.
That's right.
If you are out there and you are single, get Litty with Critty.
That's a hell of a plug.
That
That
is
wasn't
a
up for me yet.
plug and a half.
She's a great
Call
wing
her
woman.
Circuit City. Plug and a half.
But yeah, so there's
Circuit
this
City
old
staff.
couple,
Perfect time to do
and
an
they're looking
advertisement
at
read.
us like, ugh, these young kids at this bar. We literally still had our luggage in our hand, and we're already throwing up at the bar. And that was not the first time we threw up at the bar, and it would not be the last time.
Agua.
This lady at the bar. We're all enjoying ourselves, and someone at the table that has dark hair and is in this podcast and
It's
is
Shay.
not Josie
It's Shay.
And it rhymes with
is
flay.
is feeling herself. And this lady next to us at the bar says, "You need to get her a water and lime. It'll make her feel better." Well, the
Put a lime in
bartender
it.
gives us a water and lemon, and she starts to drink it. And you would have thought that like the entire world was coming down and she was getting roofied. She was like, "Is that lemon? No! It has to be lime!" Oh, God, it was the whole world was coming down, and this was it. This was the moment. She was just gonna throw up everywhere. Ended up being fine. Everyone calmed down, but it was like that was it. That was the moment. Not all the alcohol before was gonna wreck her. Water with lemon was gonna be it. That was gonna be where we
8.
drew the line.
8
And then the
because you
bartender
opened your
kept making
mouth.
fun of me
He did.
because apparently I don't remember this, but apparently all I kept saying was agua, agua, por favor, agua. And then the next day I go up there and I'm sober as a judge, and I'm like, "Hey, I'll take a Sprite and vodka." And then all the bartenders go, agua, agua. And I was like, "What are they talking about, Erika?" And she said, "You don't know."
Charlie, Christian, and Daniel decided that, hey, we're going to go pick up some chicks.
First of all,
Heck yeah.
first of all,
I hate this
And
story.
the-
I
No,
hate
it's-
this
I'm not
story.
telling the bad part of it. I'm telling the fun part of it.
Just
And
'cause I
you
was
should have
rude.
seen them. No, you should have seen them trying to stroll through this cruise ship, picking up chicks. And they passed by the jacuzzi.
No, we were in the jacuzzi.
We were in
They
the
were in the
jacuzzi.
jacuzzi.
This was like 11 at night on the ship.
Me and Christian and Daniel are in the cruise ship hot tub on like
Yeah.
the main floor.
By ourselves.
The main floor, just like presenting. Like, please, lemon, you are welcome.
Like we are cats on a pyramid. Look at us. Meow.
Meow.
Meow. Shout out Mako.
Erica's 3 shout outs deep right now.
How many beers in deep?
As many shout outs.
Go to the story. That was such a funny story. There's
Keep going, Charlie. Take it over.
Okay.
Because you were witness
I
to it.
tend to do that. I monopolize the conversation. So me and Christian and Daniel, or Daniel the cousin, our other first cousin.
Yes.
So we have 2 other male cousins that are not here. Daniel lives in a music city, plays the guitar, incredible human. Ben, incredible outdoorsman, lives
probably
out
12.
west.
He's going to become the best looking cousin.
What do you
It's
mean
gonna
become?
Gonna
He
be
is the best-looking
gonna be an
cousin.
adult blonde
it
male.
took 9
With blue
tries
eyes.
to get a successful human.
Adult blonde mare, bright blue eyes,
You telling me
six
an
pack,
adult blonde male? Hot. Doesn't matter. Anyways,
John B.
so me and Christian and Daniel, mind you, we're
JJ.
pretty young at this point, but we're still like looking for some gals. We're sitting in the hot tub. What'd you say? 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's dark outside.
like just sitting there like, let's go. Like, where are the girls at?
This is right before my sophomore year of high school.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that me and Nicole were hitting up the pizza stand at this time.
So we're sitting in the hot tub, and mind you, they were saltwater hot tubs. They used the ocean water. They pulled it out,
Chicka
put it in there.
Let's get salty.
I am terribly bad.
Sodium
at keeping
chloride.
this continuity of the story. But we're sitting in
Kinda
a hot
all over the
tub,
place.
and mind you, earlier in the day, we walked around the cruise ships looking for girls, and I thought I was so cool. I told Erica wanted to come walk with us, and I said no.
Probably because she was looking for girls as well.
But for real though.
And I was so rude. I said no, you can't come. We're looking for chicks because I was a stupid 16-year-old.
And because I would get them all.
I thought you were like in college.
Yeah, I think I was like 18. Anyway,
No, you were 16 because you were the only one. No,
I
yeah,
was
you were
legal.
18. You were 18.
yeah, I was 18. That's right.
Because you were able to drink on the cruise ship.
Barely. So we're sitting in the hot tub. This is the longest story. We're sitting. Okay, the important part is, so if you could do some cut later, this is the important part. Christian, I'm talking to you. This is the important part. We're sitting in the hot tub, me and Christian and Daniel. This is, I think, before Ben was live, or he was very young at this point. And we're looking for gals, and then sure enough, up on the top, so our cruise ship had like a track that, and we look up, and there they are, 3 girls. We were like, "Oh yeah, game time. We see girls. We see girls." Even though we're
Once we get to the
we're
end of the
staying in
story,
rooms.
obviously I didn't see this. I didn't have that.
We're staying in rooms with our whole family. It's like, what? Yeah, girls walking by. So there's girls. We look up. There's 3 girls. One's obviously older. 2 are younger. I don't know if this is a part of the story, but this is how I remember it. I remember looking at you guys and saying, "Hey, I'm not a math major, but I count 3 and
You said
3."
that, yeah.
Cool. It's not as cool as it sounds now. Like now he's like, he's grown.
Yeah.
So he's got like his grown voice.
Back when I was.
Back then it was like, "Hey boys, I count 3 and 3. I think
I'm not a math
I'm not a
major.
math major, but I took basic
I
addition."
played the tuba in high school.
First of all, me marching the tuba in marching band in high school had nothing to do with this. That's uncalled for. That's uncalled for. So the punchline of the story, well, the main point of the story, girls walk by and we see him up there. We yelled up to him, right?
No, one of them asked. One of them
That's
asked.
exactly right. So this is it's like it's
It
the
was
most.
the perfect
It
setup.
could not be any better. 3 of them, they look about like you can kind of do the scheme of like, okay, there's the older one.
Yeah.
It's there. Everything's there. They look over the top railing. I can still see it. They look over the top railing down at us, who are probably all 3 just like in this number. Just like arms out. Like, yeah, what's up? We're in a hot tub. And then they look over the edge and they say, and we tell this story all the time. They say, "How's the water?" Mind you, think about this. Think about all the possibilities. Think about all the possibilities you can say right now.
Charlie's thinking, "Bow chicka bow wow."
Yeah, 15-year-old. Think about all the possibilities of what can go on here. They ask, "How's the water?" AKA, basically, they're subtweeting, "Can we come down there?" Here it comes. This is the moment. This is the moment you've been waiting for. These 3 gals that we have not met yet look down and say, "How's the water?" Christian, without hesitation or asking us, looks up and goes, "Cold."
Christian.
He said, "Cold." And they said, "Oh." And they walked away. And we never saw him the rest of the week. That was it. Christian, without hesitation, I mean, maybe a second and a half. Cold.
I just want everybody to understand
Gone.
what point in my life I was in.
Never saw
I
him
was
again.
wearing flat brim fitted hats with my ears tucked into them. That's where I was at in my life.
your ears tucked
Yeah.
59, 50.
Yeah, so there is a small thing going on in this podcast for everybody to know. People are trying to break the record that I set during the Allie and Alex podcast of 6.5 beers.
First of all, shout out Allie and Alex.
Allie, I know you.
Allie and Alex. They should come up with a song
Allie, I know
for real.
you use this mic. I can smell it.
I've
Alex
met
used that mic.
Alex, God, darn it.
Allie and Alex.
It does sound
What
like
up, girl?
like a Nickelodeon
So
band.
Alex.
That is so.
They were cool though. I like
Allie.
that episode.
So
Cool
Allie.
man though. Cool man.
Cool man, dope
Love
man.
him.
Hands down, one of the coolest people that exist on the planet.
He's got the best dance moves
Shout
I've
out
ever
Coleman.
seen.
Shout out Coleman.
Love.
Didn't see it coming.
Oh, he's
the
filthy.
mustache.
The dance moves?
What is
Filthy
it,
with the
beard
moves.
or the mustache.
He's got both.
Both.
Yeah, love
I remember the
them
first time I met Coleman. I came here and he was on the couch and I was like, okay. And then we got drunk and then he pulled out his dance moves.
blackout.
Yeah, this was Christmas parade.
Yeah,
Charlie, can you give me a beer real quick before I dive into this story?
I'm happy to.
Oh,
Um,
God.
I'm taking the microphone with me.
we
I'm
were
gonna
doing.
let the folks at home hear what this igloo sounds like.
One, please.
That is our
How'd that
Yeti
come through?
cooler, everyone.
That came through
How'd
good.
that come through?
That came through good.
Can't see on the camera.
Not
but
everybody
it's a
can
Yeti.
afford Yetis.
I'm gonna drink these because I can't find the Coors Lights.
Go
Okay.
for it.
All right, cool.
Anyways, so
We got that cooler. For
Charlie
free.
was working a Christmas parade that was going on.
Speaking of which, I didn't get to go to one.
The
this
Mount
year.
Pleasant Christmas Parade, which. Sorry, go ahead.
And He's working it, and we were like, oh, we didn't look at. We went for part of the parade, and like, let's go get Marks, and then we're gonna wait for Charlie to come through the back end for cleanup crew, and we're gonna cheer him on as he comes through.
Don't
That was
forget
like-
to mention that before we went to the parade, we pre-gamed with like mimosas and went through probably 5 bottles of champagne.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
And I told
it's me,
Shay
Christian,
before I left,
And Coleman.
don't get too drunk because when I get home, I love to party with you guys. It's not important right now,
it will be important.
but it's important that you know that.
So we go to the Mexican restaurant as we wait for Charlie to get there because I think you had his location, Shay, waiting and we were like seeing him come up the street
No, I just
have
or
to
he
texting
was,
or whatever it is.
he
Okay,
was
go
just
pee.
actively texting me.
And we get there and we all get a jumbo strawberry mark. All of us, pow, all on the table.
Boom.
We all drink the first jumbo. Boom, gone. And and you asked them, and we had time to fit a second one. It would be close. We get the second one, and then you get the text from Charlie that he's coming through that spot. We left our marks, haven't paid for a thing, dead sprint across 2 different parking lots and like a parking lot median to get to the street for like 6 seconds of "Go Charlie!" And then we went back. And, like, I had to explain to the guys as we were running out. We'll be back in a second. We just got to go cheer on someone even though the parade's over. We'll be back in a second. It's okay. It's good. Boom, gone.
Yeah, like they totally probably thought that we dined and dashed.
They got none of that, I'm sure.
Oh, I know. And we just took off out of there. And then we got back. We finished a second mark while you were still doing your cleanup.
Mind you, I was in heels.
why
I
you're
ran
down
across
Yeah.
2
telling
parking
that.
lots in heels
Yeah.
and didn't feel a
Don't
thing.
act like you didn't do that on a regular basis in college.
Oh no, I did. I'm just saying.
And then
I was running fast.
Confirmed.
And then once we got back, we finished the marks. We came home, and Shay's just on the point of just being aggressively belligerent. Shay and Coleman are running around the house playing tag.
Mind you, this is like an
This is-
1,100 square foot townhouse in Mount Pleasant.
And they're playing tag, and then Charlie comes home, and Bohemian Rhapsody is played, and I feel so bad.
This is the part I reminded you of earlier when I said, please don't get too drunk. Because when I get home from work, I can't wait to drink with you guys.
Charlie walked in. Shay runs up to him, rips his vest off,
Safety
takes
vest.
his beanie cap, throws it on the ground, and just undresses this man in the kitchen. He's been in here for like 2 minutes, and then Charlie's like, I guess he got drunk, huh?
I thought that she was doing it to be fun. She was doing it because she thought she was on Mars. And she sang all of Bohemian Rhapsody to me as if I was Mama just killed a man, like as if I was the one that did it.
If I'm Shay, this was her the entire time. She was like neck broken looking up at you because she was so close, just screaming the song at you.
And it went very downhill from that point on.
But to play role reverse, let's talk about the time Charlie got so drunk. All I heard from my bedroom was, Christian!
Good story,
Yeah.
of which I don't know.
So this story happened because Christian found out that he got the job that he wanted, and he was moving back
To Richmond, right?
to Richmond
Yep.
from
That was a
Mount
big
Pleasant.
night. Big night.
That
Big-
was my
Shout
birthday
out.
night. Got offered the job on my birthday.
What can I say? Shout out
I
to
just say, I just,
Richmond
Bleep, bleep,
schools.
bleep.
yeah.
Shout out to Richmond.
Shout out to Richmond.
Anyways, so it was like one of his last nights that we were going to see him, and it was a Monday night, mind you, Monday. And I don't know what I was doing, but I didn't drink like they did. But they went through, Christian and Charlie Christian went through a whole bottle of champagne before Charlie even started drinking, right?
Darn Skippy,
and then both of them somehow went through an entire case of beer in one night.
I can tell you how we did it. 2 words: Rocket League.
Thanks,
Yeah.
B.
And then so somehow Christian was not blackout. I don't know how.
Because I'm a stud.
I guess he paced himself accordingly. Charlie did not. He probably drank 10 beers in an hour. And
Rocket
then
League.
it was like
Happens.
midnight, and we all decided to go to bed. And I could not get Charlie up the stairs. I finally got him up the stairs, and then I have videos. I have like 4 5-minute long videos of Charlie trying to get in bed, but not quite making it. He passed out on Mowgli's dog bed, and all you
Mowgli's
can hear
our dog.
is, huh?
Shout out Mowgli.
Mowgli's our dog.
Mowgli is our dog. He is a sweet boy. Anyways, Charlie
8.
fell on Mowgli's dog
7.
bed, and all you could hear was, Christian! 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 And I was like, Charlie, go to bed. I was like, please just go to bed. And he was like, you won't give me to go to bed. You got to get me on to bed.
We still say that all the time. If you want to get me to go to bed, you're going to have to get me on the bed.
So I knew, like, I would not be able to pick Charlie up and put him on the bed because I'm very small. Charlie is a large man.
Is that a fat joke?
No, that is a fact that he is 6'2" and very much larger than I am. So I make Christian get out of bed and come and help me.
I was Nicky in bed, like ready to go to sleep.
Yeah, so I make him get out of bed and come help me because Charlie will not stop screaming Christian's name and like laughing hysterically. So Christian has to help this man use the bathroom.
Well, no, you missed the part where he picked me up because I saw it in the video. He picked me up, I fell over, and he spanked me so hard.
Yeah.
I gave Daddy the work.
I was bruised the next day.
Threw up when you said that.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, Charlie couldn't stand up on his own. So Christian had to walk him to the bathroom and basically bear hug him while Charlie did his business. And
Mind you, I'm not sober.
no.
I'm not blackout, but I'm not sober in this situation. It was two drunk men. I didn't have a shirt on. You didn't have pants on because you were trying to pee. It was just a very weird situation to be a part of, like in the entire grand scheme
Who
of
was
things.
you in this situation?
I didn't have a shirt on, and I was behind Charlie,
Okay.
hugging him, helping him pee.
I've
You
got
had
some.
pants
I've got
on,
some
correct?
pictures of that, and Charlie's
While I was
face is.
peeing.
Yeah, I had
hysterical.
pants on,
Okay.
but no shirt. He had. You had a shirt, but no pants.
No, he had
remember.
no shirt on and pants.
Oh, okay.
You had on no shirt and boxers.
Hey.
You know how Daddy does it.
So y'all both were shirtless.
nothing wrong.
What?
Anyways, it got to the point
Get a
where
little bumper
he just didn't
ride.
know what he was saying. Like Christian finally went to bed. Charlie laid down,
Charlie
and he
started
was like,
talking Gullah to a point where I was like, "This is no.
"Yeah."
This is." Let's talk another drunk story we had. Let's go Thomas Rhett concert.
Oh God.
Shout out to Coyote Joe. You know who you are. Ran away from us.
You know who you are.
She ran away
What?
from y'all at the Thomas Rhett concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She ran away from us at the same Hunt concert too.
She has a tendency to do that. She likes to run, turns out.
Yeah, that was the Thomas Rhett concert.
What Thomas Rhett were we talking about?
First one was not.
At the Blind Horse. We were like, no,
Blonde
that's not
Horse.
Thomas Rhett. That's the house band.
One-Eyed
When?
Jack. Shout out One-Eyed Jack. We're on shout out
We're
7.
talking the Thomas Rhett we just went to where we had to wait in the parking lot for your mom to come get me and Dina, and we were eating celery out the back of Erika's truck.
You're
as we were
welcome for an amazing charcuterie board and vegetable platter.
But
Shout out
Did you bring a
Josie.
charcuterie board and vegetable platter to a tailgate?
Absolutely.
Yeah. she did.
Classy.
But this was
Old.
Classy. Lines was
Classy,
bougie.
never trashy. Okay, just trashy sometimes.
this Thomas Rhett concert. I don't know why in the tailgate, I wanted to drink the least like aggressively out of everybody there, because I wanted to go see like the opening acts. I was like, let's go do this.
Let's talk about a main topic.
Because then I got forced to go play flip cup with the Pichio rings, and those things are the devil. They've been soaking in Tito's for like 24 hours, and I just started getting force fed the Pichios, and it felt like a worm going down your throat because they were so slimy from the Tito's. And it was like,
So let's just state the obvious. When women drink, they are drinking to either A, just get a little buzz, or they're drinking to get freaking blackout.
it make me look attractive.
And all of these women were drinking to get blackout.
I was not at the time.
And we met some friends. They were very nice, lovely couples.
Maybe they're listening.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Shout out to those couples.
One also.
Know who you
just
are.
spilled my drink.
Sorry.
I just drooled a minute ago for no reason.
We are falling apart.
Yeah, so Thomas Rhett, Coyote Joe. We call her Coyote Joe because she had a great experience at
You know who
Coyote
you
Joe's. She ran away from us.
Gang, gang.
We had Dina, who luckily this time was of age because last time she was there, almost got a drinking ticket.
It's Deaners, first of all.
Deaners.
It's Deaners.
Shout out
Her name
Deaners.
is not Dina.
How
it's
many
Deaners.
shout-outs do we have now? 6?
That's
Oh,
10.
actually,
No, that's 10. That's
That
10.
was the time Nicole got the drinking ticket.
10.
Sam Hunt.
We shouted out some weird stuff.
Was that the one where
It's
Courtney was there?
Deaners
I
is
don't
the
think that's
last
the same
one.
one. No, this is a different one. Maybe
Focus
so.
up. Just get to the points here.
So at this Thomas Rhett concert, later on, Josie and I were like, "Hey, let's sneak into the VIP section." So Josie, like, just barely. Oh no, you did it! Don't you? No, don't you shake that head? No.
me into that.
Yes, because
was
you never do
terrible.
anything.
I didn't do this. I
So
was a good
Josie
boy.
crossed over the little fence, and she was cool. She was chill. She was good.
Velvet rope?
Yeah, no one caught her. She was good.
Come on, come to the dark side.
Yes, I was trying to get her to do something
Again,
bad for
I didn't
one
do
time.
this.
And so I jumped the fence and went and found myself a seat. Well, it turns out if you find yourself a seat, it is no bueno. They did not like that. They kicked us out. Not out of the concert, just out of the VIP section. And she said, "Where's your ticket?" I said, "I don't have service." And that was my answer, so I left.
And then the Thomas Rhett concert goes. It happens. I had a blast.
During the Thomas Rhett concert,
Let's talk daring.
so Christian decides to
Dave.
dance. Sorry, Erika was trying to crack open another beer. So Christian starts to dance on one of my friends.
Jimbo.
The concert proceeds. He then switches to a different friend. The first friend didn't like that so much.
Shout out to the couple of friends.
Wait, hold on. I want to know which friend.
No,
We'll
we're
talk
not
later.
saying
We'll
names.
talk later about that. We'll talk later
So
about
then
that.
is dancing with the other friends.
They listen to this.
Oh yeah,
Well, they definitely know who you're talking about.
This is all getting cut.
You know who you
it's
Oh
all
no,
better.
I'm leaving this.
You know who you are.
Yeah, so dancing with one friend. Okay, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna dance with the other. Again, I have 7 bridesmaids. You're doing great on your list there.
Your face is so red.
I know.
Are you editing this out?
I didn't expect this story.
bad
to
as this
get
is,
this
I
It's
can't
good
help that I have really
content.
attractive friends. And so he's dancing with one, switches to a different one. The other friend's like, oh my gosh, what in the world? We then proceed to go home. Christian, take it away.
Well, no. So before we even got home, we were waiting in the parking lot for our rides, and the guy next to us also had a truck, and they were dancing on top of their truck, and I was like, that looks really fun. I was like, this looks like a blast, dancing on their truck. So I said, and Erika has a truck.
I said, I bet you $20 you won't get on their truck.
That's
Get
what
on the
did it.
roof.
She's such an instigator. She's the worst at that.
And
Who's
I,
she? Something the cat drug in?
Yeah, good call.
Thank you,
I,
grandmother.
Very
I
Not to be
poop
named.
you not. I poop you not.
Angel.
I did not ask for permission. I did not do anything. I went onto this man's bed of the truck. I got on the bed. and then
No. You didn't get on the bed. You got on the top.
Well, no, I got on the bed
The
first, and then I
tip
had to get
top.
on the top of the
Yeah.
truck. And then it's just pictures of me just going, like, wiggle my hips on top of this man's truck. And then eventually, like, hey, man, you got to get off. I was like, really? And then, like, we're about to move. I was like, okay, I'll get off. And then
Well,
I
in that case-
destroyed my shin getting off of that thing. And I had a bruise there, and it did not feel good.
And
I
I
was
had to
not a
give you
fan of
$20.
it. Let's
We were-
talk about
we were
when
getting
we
there.
decided to do a reverse mimosa, essentially.
Oh my
where
God,
we
that was
drank.
awful.
That
Where
was
we,
the hands down
Oh, and the prank.
most hungover I've ever been in my entire
Best
life.
prank
Let's
ever.
talk about leaving Charlie.
Mind you, I'm a borderline
we
alcoholic.
please
that's
talk
where the
about
story
that.
gets
Let me
to.
set it up.
Yes.
That's where the
Let me
story
set it
gets
up,
to.
you tell the
Yeah.
back end. Let me set it up
Go
until
ahead.
the back end.
Charlie, you're
Christian.
always cut me off when you do that.
I know, sorry, I just get too excited.
Let Shay talk. Talk, Shay.
No,
No, it's where
not
I'm
that.
sitting. It's where I'm sitting.
Okay.
I get too excited. I gotta stand up. So
You
Christian decides.
can. You have the cord to stand up.
I'm going to. Christian. Yay! If you know what's good. It's Justin Timberlake. So
No.
Christian
No.
decides. Yes, it is.
Let the man talk.
Put your filthy
gonna
hands
say it's
all
fake.
over me.
So,
Real Saint Clean. There it is. All right. Christian decides that he wants to make what is arguably the best
Reverse mimosas,
and
baby.
possibly worst idea that humanity's ever come up
worst.
with.
Worst.
Which
By
is
far worst.
you take
Best.
a bottle of champagne, an entire bottle of
You
champagne.
take like 3 sips out of it.
Mind you, you have to be making mimosas. You take an entire bottle of champagne. I'm going to show the arm right here. You pop the top. You take 3 sips out of your bottle of champagne. You pour as much orange juice into it as you can until it gets to the top. And that's your mimosa.
I had 2 of those.
I had half.
I had one and I was done.
I was still
So-
hungover from the night before.
So you carry
She fell
around
Same.
asleep.
You carry around this entire bottle of champagne that has a dash of orange juice in it.
Enough to change the color.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And yeah, Erica's sober. I'm basically sober.
In the story.
I was literally the only sober one on my birthday
I'm on
trip.
bottle number 2.
I was basically sober that
Josie
day because I was
passed out
hungover
in a
and the
hammock,
champagne stuff
And
wasn't
everybody
doing it
else
for
has
me.
a bottle of champagne.
And I don't remember any of this.
So we're all on the bank of the river. Erica brought a trout fishing pole. And so everybody's like skipping rocks. And then me, Erica, and Christian go over onto a rock in the middle of the river.
It's a comfy rock.
And Charlie's like, I'm not going over there. I want to take my shoes off, get my feet wet. Like, the
Yeah.
water's cold. So he's like, I'm going to go lay on this bank over here.
Yeah.
I'm just
So
going to lay right
Chris-
here near the
I
truck.
don't remember that.
The music's playing. I'm just going to lay on the bank.
Yeah. So Charlie's laying on the bank.
Don't remember it.
And we've got some other people on the bank too. But me, Christian, and Erica venture off to the rock. And while we're on the rock, me and Erica are throwing bread in the water to try and attract the fish because we didn't have any bait. And we just kind of let the hook kind of flow down the water a little bit. While we're doing that, Christian is face down on the rock, passed out.
It was so because
In the middle of the river.
Rocks are so comfy.
the rock had the sun on it, so the rock was warm. The moment I sat down, I was like, "Oh!" I
This
was
is
like,
it.
"I was
Just
like
like
that."
a turtle.
That was game over.
Just
It was literally
passed
10
out.
feet of water, like
I've-
running water.
I fell
inside
asleep
of
with the
us.
bottle in my hand like this, like face down, while the bottle was I was still gripping it.
We took
You
the
look like
bottle away
Superman.
so it wouldn't freaking break in the water.
Superman in flight.
Yeah.
Mid-flight.
Yeah.
Bottle in hand.
And so
Charlie's still asleep on the bank.
yeah. And so me and Erica are like, let's mess with Christian. So we put a whole entire hot dog bun right by his mouth. He had to have smelled it. I don't know how he didn't. He didn't move. He didn't budge.
Did not budge.
And so we left him on the rock.
Well,
No, we ended up. So we decided we were like,
no,
oh,
that's
you know
right,
what?
that's right.
I don't want him to roll over and fall into the water and
Yeah.
then die. So let's go ahead and wake him up really slowly. Tell him, hey, we're gonna play a trick on Charlie. Go back to the
I was
truck.
gonna say because there was nobody when I woke up. But go ahead.
I like to think I was very
So anyways,
responsive
we
when I
told
was
Christian,
woken
we're
up.
like,
Yeah, you were.
Christian, shh, don't say a word. Come on, get in the truck. Just don't ask questions. Get in the truck. And usually when I say that to Christian, he's like, okay, I won't ask any questions. Let's go. And so we all went and we walked down our little path, really quietly got into the truck, slowly turned down the volume on all the music, and then pulled away. We are missing Charlie. In case if anyone at home is
On purpose.
keeping track,
On purpose.
Yeah.
we are missing Charlie.
So I'm passed out.
We know where Charlie is. It's not that we're missing him.
Christian mimosa manufacturer drunk on the side of a mountain
On a
stream.
bank. Yeah. So he's there, and we're like, you know what? He's far enough away that he will He will not
7.
like drown. We're like, he's good.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Unless it flooded.
Fingers crossed.
Mind you, I remember laying down. I remember thinking, this is such a beautiful day. That was it. That was the last thing I
Yeah.
remember.
So we pulled away, and probably like 30 minutes later, we hear we're like watching. We're like waiting. We're like little kids on Christmas. We're just waiting.
So you're still intoxicated to know that y'all actually started making Indian tribe noises.
No, that's not yet. Not yet. So we're sitting there waiting, and we see him start to come over the little break of the water.
Hang on, let me interject here. So the point about this is that I woke up. Yeah, I stuttered. I woke up. Mind you, I fell asleep with probably 15 people around me, just having like a nice little creek adventure. I woke up 0 people. Every single one of y'all is gone. I wake up by the side of a creek that I don't remember going down to, but I do remember going to say that. The point is, I remember waking up and nobody was there. And I was freaking out. And I was like, what the heck happened? I must have blacked out. I don't know. So I stood up, and to this day, I wish I had a dime for every time I've been hungover or I've gotten too drunk that it's been hurting the next day. I stood up, and that is still to this day, hands down, the worst hangover I've ever had. I stood up, and my head was just thumping. I mean, just like beating so hard that I had to blink every time it was throbbing, like such a bad headache. I stood up, and I'm like, what in the heck is going on? I was like, I like, where is everybody? I'm so hungover. And then I walk up the hill to try to see what's going on,
Yeah,
and
so
that's
he
where you
walks
are.
up the hill, and we see him. We're like, this is the moment we've been waiting for. So what else would we do other than make Indian tribe noises like start yelling at the top of our lungs because he has finally woken up and figured out that we have left him. This is our moment. So he comes up over the hill and we're screaming, "Oh, no, no, no." And so Charlie, go ahead and say what you thought.
What do you mean?
So he didn't remember. So he said when he came back to us, he was like, "I seriously thought I was going to be attacked by Indians."
Oh yeah, no, I really did.
Like
I literally
had
thought that
no
was
idea
going to.
what was going on.
Timbo had a lot of fun, man. This was a lot of fun.
How much everybody got left in their drinks? This is the important part
Charlie
here.
has drank 8 beers.
Oh yeah,
for the record.
So Charlie has set the record now. The record has been set for a podcast recording.
That is number 9.
Will you let me crush 9 real quick?
Well, I mean, we're gonna have to crush 9 in a second here. Erica, you got to get back over here.
I'll do 9 while everybody's telling their.
No, this is part of how
Wrap
this
up.
this is part of how this works. So you just you hang tight on that one.
Okay.
You can drink as you want, but you just hang tight with that.
Okay.
So let's see here. Josie, you got good? You got everything you want to say out of you?
I've said everything.
Erika, you got everything you want to say out of you?
Yep.
Charlie's drinking. He's already said it. Shay, you got everything you want to say out of you?
I think so.
All right, so we're going to end every podcast like we do every other podcast in the world. We're going to cheers out, and you have to finish the drink you are drinking at this exact moment. We cannot end this podcast until everybody has downed the drink that they currently have in front of them. Does everybody understand these rules as they are stated?
Yes.
Understood.
All right, everybody, thank
That
you.
was a good one.
9.
That was
All
a 9.
podcasts
That
are
was
going
a
for
9.
good.
That was a
9?
I give it
9.
a 3.
3 from here.
Erica.
Again, thank you so much, everybody, for being on the podcast. I hope you had a blast
Get
doing
Litty
this.
with Critty.
This is part of the Charleston Cake. Everybody finish your drinks. Good?
I just
Good.
Good?
I just
Good.
opened that one.
Good.
Shay, good?
What is? I mean,
And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of Getting Litty with Critty. Again, you can find this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, and a bunch of other random things as it pops up on them. You can also find it on YouTube later this week. I'll have another episode from Charleston in the following week from a couple more people I used to work with. Thank you so much for tuning in. To the 25 people who subscribed on Spotify, I appreciate you very much, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.